Soul family, to my YouTube channel. I am Mercy, and if you're here for the very first time, I am so happy to have you here. I'm grateful to have manifested you on your journey, and I am very much in a state of honor in guiding you forward on your path at this time. We are going to get into an in-depth view of the energy as it relates to your love life, and we are going to connect with your guides, asking for clear and concise messages, all shared through the lens of love. I do recommend that as you're receiving this reading, you utilize your discernment. Have an open mind, an open heart, but definitely ensure all of the details match, just to make sure that the messages that you're receiving are in fact your messages to receive. Also, as we're doing laundry list items, the only way to book with me is via my website, which is available in my YouTube bio. If anyone else does reach out to you to offer you a reading, this is not my energy. That is a representation of somebody else, but is not connected or affiliated with me. So just be careful and always utilize your discernment. But without further ado, let's get into the love messages today. I'm very excited to read for you, my collective, and I'm so thankful to have you here. So let's just take a big deep breath, a big soulful breath, and open our heart chakra and allow ourselves to be in a state of groundedness to receive these messages that we are here to share. So the first message that's coming through as it relates to your love life here is the Queen of Cups, your highest energy. So I am channeling a collective at this time that is desiring true love, but not just true love. A love that feels reciprocal, a love that feels balanced and harmonious. But this is also a collective that has experienced a lot of disappointment in love up until this time. I do see that you have experienced some karmic relationships in your history. I am channeling a collective that feels now this instinct or intuitively feels called to protecting their energy, protecting their peace, prospectively even protecting your emotional energy, specifically. Simply because in the past you might feel like you were used or taken advantage of, or people mistook your kindness for weakness. I'm channeling a collective that feels like you have not been able to attract in love that is reciprocal, balanced. Mostly you have attracted, at least from your history, one-sided relationships. And relationships that did feel like they drained and depleted that emotional energy. But with this Queen of Cups energy, you are also very intuitive. And with your ability to harness the power of your intuition with all of this emotional energy that in a double-edged sword can sometimes be presented as being overtly sensitive, when harnessed or leveraged, this a volume of emotional energy can be utilized to be able to navigate your path forward, as this emotional reservoir is also available as a source of your intuition. So I'm seeing that you are now at this time finally seeing things clearly and calling upon that intuitive knowing to be able to move towards a new path in love, or prospectively the same path but through a different lens, with the ability to navigate via your third eye, or again your intuitive state of knowing as to what is healthy for you and what isn't healthy for you, what feels good to you and what doesn't feel good to you, what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. So this is this energy of establishing yourself to the extent where your emotionality, the depth of your emotions, is no longer being seen or perceived as a weakness, or at least you're not perceiving or seeing it as a weakness because you're using it as a strength. Now, the energy outside of you this time, this is definitely somebody that I feel like is in this energy of attempting to give up or conceding defeat. This feels like somebody who's not showing that they're willing to fight for this relationship at this time. Someone who might have felt like it was too hard to have a place in your life. There also could have been other energies involved here, or and misuse of this person's time or energy to the extent in which they were not focusing on you. This could be someone who is also easily distracted, or were very much focused on conflicts outside of them, but were not able to find that sense of peace within themselves, to the extent where you might have felt like you got caught up in the drama of being connected to this person. So this could be somebody who carries drama with them, or just somebody who always seemed to have some type of problem or issue. And it does feel like this person's inability to fight for the connection, find peace first for themselves and then for this relationship, was very depleting for you. Could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius that you're connected to. I just heard Virgo, could also be a Virgo or a Cancer, because that's coming through strongly. But this is somebody who I do see in the past that you were connected to. Yeah, you might have felt like this is somebody who was definitely involved with other people. I'm definitely getting third-party energy for some of you. Could be somebody that they have a history with, or could be a mother figure, because I feel a feminine energy with them, okay? But This is somebody who had a difficult time opening their heart to you, potentially because of the influence of others or because of a lack of healing, particularly related to their heart chakra, right? Feeling like they were unhealed or feeling like their heart was wounded. Meaning, this is somebody who probably had a difficult time opening up to you emotionally. Someone who did not allow themselves to be fully open to the connection. And it feels like your perception is that you were meant to be on this person's path to help them open their heart, but that at some point you felt like they weren't reciprocating. The fact that you were guiding this person and teaching this person almost feels like, to your perception, it fell on deaf ears, or you really felt like, those efforts weren't necessarily being reciprocated, or there wasn't energy being sent back in return. So you might have felt at some point that you had to pull back your energy, again, protecting your energy from this person. Spirit, what do we need to know particularly around the current state of this connection? Where does this collective stand in terms of the current energy? Wow. King and Queen of Cups energy here. Okay, definitely somebody that you felt for some time was supposed to be your forever. Someone that you thought was going to be a long-term partner for you. I'm definitely channeling a collective that might even feel like this is still their counterpart. But that there is this frustration that you're seemingly doing a lot of healing work or focusing on evolving and growing, and that this individual over here does not seem to be willing to put in that fight or willing to put in the effort in order to meet you where you are. There is definitely a sense of feeling, again, like the two of you are very complementary, very compatible, that your energies just seamlessly connect. But there is an aspect of this being inverse as well, because the King of Cups wasn't fully upright. So this is definitely somebody who still has work to do, right? Who still, if in an unhealed state, this same energy can be expressed symptomatically in a way that could be toxic. There could be like slight manipulation from this person, or somebody who holds back their emotions as a tactic, even if it's subconscious. And I feel that that's coming from the unhealed place within this person. That's coming from this person's unhealed wound that we describe. But you do care for this person, and you both love each other. Damn, do you both love each other? There is a deep and unconditional love. And despite the fact that you are protecting your energy at this time, it doesn't suppress the love that you have for this person, but it does in fact increase the love that you have for yourself. And that's a lesson that we learn on our journey and path. Love is not a fixed quantity. It's not a fixed quotient. You can love and have love for people around you, your pets, your family members, yourself, of course, first and foremost. But love is not this fixed resource. And I feel like this is a collective that is aware of this, but at the same time knows that you need to focus your energy on loving yourself at this time. Doesn't mean you love this person less, but it does mean that you need to protect your energy and also take a step back, perhaps even from a place of compassion. Knowing that this is somebody who has some work to do on their own, somebody who needs to be able to self-reflect, and perhaps you feel like there was some enablement here in the past. They weren't doing that self-reflection because you were perhaps mirroring that back to them or projecting that back to them, as opposed to them actually having to do the work. Spirit, what do we need to know about this person's thoughts around my collective? This is definitely somebody that misses you. The two of you could be in separation at this time. This is somebody who is craving a form of reconnection. This is someone who does feel lost without you, truthfully. And they're not wrong to some degree. I feel like this is actually somebody who has a difficult time being away from your energy. And when they are away from your energy, it's like some part of them is missing. It feels very hopeless to this person. You strike me as a collective as being not only deeply empathetic and intuitive, but also quite creative and expressive. But there's also this part of you that feels very joyful. And just being around you feels addictive. It feels like people just can't get enough of that energy of like vibrancy. It's like if you were a color, you'd be a rainbow. It's like you just radiate this bright, beautiful, positive energy. Your aura is like golden and orange, like a sunset. It's quite beautiful and it's quite profound, the energy that you show up in the world with. And it feels like many maybe try to replicate that energy, but can't do so from a place that's authentic. That's just part of who you are. So that is a gift that you own and that you have honed over time. But this is definitely somebody who's missing that gift. Spirit, what do we need to know about this person in terms of what they're feeling about my collective? So this is definitely somebody who feels like they need to take some type of action here. This is someone who feels, I just heard pressure. There could be a little bit of pressure. And then I heard contents under pressure. So definitely somebody who feels like the energy has been rising, or there's been this increase in energy to the point where it's almost reaching an overboil. So you could have been in a standoff for some time with this person, feeling like you weren't necessarily needing to take a step back and focus on your own energy, and that this is somebody who perhaps needed to do the same. But in every other time in the past, I feel like you've been the one to reach out, and I don't see that happening at this time. I actually see you not like sitting on your hands to avoid reaching out, but truly, legitimately finding peace within yourself and finding peace on focusing your energy within. And that's revelatory. That's a major shift for this collective in terms of where you are in your journey at this time and how much you've grown and transformed along the way. And I just heard catalyst. For some of you, this is someone who was the catalyst, but for others, the catalyst was some type of painful or traumatic event in your history that is coming through. But I am seeing, and I just heard move, so some of you could be a move or something that happened unexpectedly in your life that forced you into a state in which you really had to do some deep healing later on. But I am seeing that this is somebody who does feel at this time this desire to open up their heart or to come back forward. There's definitely this energy of impulsivity, of boldness, audaciousness, somebody who is wanting to be able to release these contents under pressure. What is the spiritual energy here for this collective? So I actually feel like the spiritual purpose at this time for this connection is for both of you to become stronger in this time of separation. I feel that on your person's side, this is definitely somebody who has lived by way of their ego. And lived by way of their ego to the extent where they were not allowing themselves to be strong enough to look at those uncomfortable things that they hadn't addressed, those wounds that were unhealed. And it's actually interesting because most think that softness or sensitivity is a form of weakness, but truthfully, your ability to look at those parts of yourself that are unhealed and really tune in to that softer part of yourself is actually a strength. It's a preeminent strength that very few possess. And I feel that you have honed this strength. You have evolved to the extent where you are able to call upon this and to utilize this, again, like we described at the beginning of the reading. You're this soul warrior, right? You wear your heart on your sleeve, and to some degree, you feel like maybe that has worked against you in the past, but you don't regret it because that's the way you operate. And I feel like you are learning to better protect your energy, but you're also learning to better use that gift. And this individual here, this is definitely somebody who feels at this time like they don't feel strong enough to look at these parts of themselves. They don't feel strong enough to acknowledge where they're wrong. For some of you, this is somebody who knows they're wrong, somebody who knows they're broken. And interesting, like the Five of Swords. This is how you know this is a well-loved deck. But yeah, who feels like, truthfully, they know they're wrong. There's part of them, but they don't want to acknowledge it. They don't feel strong enough to admit when they're wrong. This is the avoidance of an ego death, right? And the avoidance of an ego death can only take place for so long until Spirit, the universe, this person's guides, force them to surrender to their higher path, to be able to evolve in a state in which they finally have an open heart and a willingness to heal. So what do we need to know about this connection moving forward? Okay, moving forward, how will this connection evolve? How do we need to know? Woo! There is so much pain here. See, and I feel that you think you're the only one hurting in this connection. That's what I'm picking up on your side. For some of you, you have really big, beautiful eyes. Some of you have big, beautiful blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes, but I'm seeing these big, expressive eyes. And everything is in your eyes. I feel that when people look into your eyes, they know exactly what you're feeling, thinking. Like it's a big tell for you. That's an additional confirmation for this reading, okay? But I feel like you have these big, beautiful, expressive eyes, and you're definitely an old soul with many past lives. For most of you, the number 8 is significant. You could have 8 past lives, okay? But yes, this year feels like your 9th, right? Or this lifetime feels like your 9th, which is finally your opportunity to experience mastery, to experience personal mastery, and to ascend to the top of the summit, to achieve all that you're meant to achieve. And it does show that you are in the process of doing so, but that this connection has a very profound impact on that ascension journey and path. For some of you, this could actually be a twin flame, because I do feel strong counterpart energy here, but like inverse, right? Which is not uncommon for a twin. You have a lot of similarities and compatibilities, but then some things are completely different or unique. So I do feel that yin-yang energy here, but the near future energy feels like there is a lot of pain, feels like there's a lot of discomfort, but again, not on the upright, not, reverse. This is an energy of pain avoidance. And I feel like it's mostly on your person's side, but you could be mirroring each other, right? There could be a little bit of wanting to avoid some of that pain or maybe of the discomfort of acknowledging that this person is not where you want them to be at this time. And that you have to make a decision based on that information, as opposed to what you would like this person to be or where you'd like them to be. And I feel for most of you as well, you're really focusing on your career, your finances, areas of opportunity in which if you make a tangible investment, you will receive a tangible reward. This is like Capricorn energy, right? Going through a period in your life in which you're feeling uncomfortable, or if you're going through a lot emotionally, it's like wanting to stack up wins, create routines, create structure, do things that make ourselves feel like a better version of ourselves, and then over time start to reveal that new version of ourselves, like faking it till you make it, essentially. So I feel that you're actually doing the soul work. I feel no spiritual bypassing on your side we'll say to the same extent as your counterpart or this energy is. I do see your person over here. This is somebody that is avoiding this pain. This is somebody who's having a difficult time avoiding this pain, because if they acknowledge this pain, they have to acknowledge they're wrong. They have to acknowledge that they're potentially missing out on you at this time. They have to acknowledge the fact that they could be willingly giving up on you if they don't make some type of decision or some type of change in the near future. And I see that this is something that's weighing very heavily on their heart. Okay? So let's get some advice. What do we need in terms of advice for this collective? Specifically for my collective, what advice does Spirit have for them? Okay. So this feels like an encouragement to listen to your intuition regarding what you need to do to feel safe. Feel safe within your body. Feel safe in terms of emotional expression. Feel safe in terms of your immediate environment. And focus here on inner child healing as well. So if those inner child wounds are coming up because of the circumstance, this connection, really meeting that inner child with love and embracing them and giving them love that, again, maybe they didn't receive at a time in your childhood. Really accepting the truth around this connection at this time. And two things can be true at the same time. You can love this person deeply and dearly, but they can also not be ready to love you in the way that would feel safe for you. So this is what the overall advice is for this collective. That's the big epiphany here. It's if this love doesn't feel safe for you, then it's time to allow yourself to accept that truth, even if it's a painful truth. And in the interim, to bring your spirits up, or to allow yourself to feel more like yourself again, making those investments within yourself, doing those tangible things, working on maybe your physical health and well-being, working on career aspirations and goals, creating to-do lists, structured habits, all things that are going to help you feel stronger, more capable, more confident in the long run. And in the meantime, this is definitely somebody who's going to continue to experience some hurt and some pain, but it does feel like it is necessary. It feels like it's necessary for this person to feel this pain and this hurt in order to address why they're not willing to fight for something that they so clearly desire. There are so many fears on this person's side, and it feels like the more they heal these wounds, the more they'll be able to face those fears. So I hope this message was helpful. Thank you again for joining me on my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this message, please subscribe. I would love to have you be part of the journey as we evolve together. But as I've said before, I am not your teacher or your guru. I'm here to share this journey with you. I hope you feel a sense of empowerment around receiving these insights, these messages, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.